Going from hourly to package rates as a freelancer, this is a problem I know a lot of freelancers have when they first start freelancing. So to quickly clarify, hourly rates are when you charge per hour of work, aka you work 2 hours, your hourly rate is $20 an hour, you get paid $40. 2 hours times $28 an hour. Package rates, on the other hand, are normally done on a deliverable basis where you deliver XYZ and you get paid for delivering XYZ no matter how long it took you to create XYZ. So as an example, you write a 1,000 word blog post for a client and they pay you $50. It doesn't matter if it took you 2 hours to write it or 20 hours to write that blog post, you get paid $50 for that fixed deliverable. So for many of us freelancers, we start with hourly rates because we assume that's the easiest payment structure to use, which I do think is good. I recommend starting with hourly rates if you're just getting started with freelancing, as it will help you really understand how long different types of tasks will take you with different types of clients before you are ready to switch to package rates. And if you need help figuring out your hourly rates, I have a full detailed video about it where I break down step by step that I will link in the top right corner. But yes, hourly rates are easy to start out with. I recommend it for beginners. It's easy for your clients to understand as well. Almost all clients will get the concept of an hourly rate and how it works. However, once you get comfortable with your craft, with your service offering, your value, you begin growing your confidence, you will suddenly find yourself second guessing hourly. That's when you begin to feel super stuck in hourly. It's a huge problem. If it isn't currently a problem for you, it will probably become a problem if you are looking to scale as a freelancer, because the biggest problem with hourly is that it ties our income potential to our time, and time is a finite resource. It is not scalable. You only have X amount of hours in a day. So even if you were working every single hour of every single day, which I do not recommend, you would soon reach a plateau of some kind where you cannot make it past that plateau, and that will make it impossible for you to scale if you keep going with this format of payment. The value that you provide to your clients, however, is scalable. Your time is not. So as you get better and better at what you do, you will notice that you slowly get penalized for charging hourly. Suddenly a task that took you 10 hours to do 3 months ago only takes you 5 or 3 hours now, so you get paid less for being better at your job, for being more efficient. That's not fun. I know that as soon as I realized that, I had quite a little light bulb moment for myself, and I started digging into how I could provide more value to my clients without tying that value to the time that I was at a laptop. And that translated for me personally into becoming a digital business manager, but really fixed project packages work for all freelancers. So today, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how to transition from an hourly rate to a fixed project package price step by step, and how to determine the cost of your packages, and I'll share some tips at the end as well. Hey, my name is Dea, freelancer, digital business manager, and most recently entrepreneur. And as always, you can find sections on the play bar below if you want to skip to a certain part of the video. Your time is precious, so take what you need. And if you want to watch this on 2x, I will not be offended in the least. I only watch myself on 2x. Okay, let's dive into the video. So the first thing you'll have to think is, are you actually ready for project or package rates? I always ask myself 2 questions to determine whether I should quote hourly or package rates. Question 1, can I accurately estimate how long the services I am offering will take me to do? Question 2, does this client mostly need recurring services instead of one-off ad hoc help? If the answer to both is yes, then I proceed with a fixed project rate. If the answer to question 1 is no, then I recommend that you keep doing hourly rates until you have a clear understanding of how long things take you. Time track yourself for 1 to 2 months and then see, because you may be shooting yourself in the foot if you are not sure how long something takes you and you begin quoting project-based to realize it actually takes you much longer than anticipated. That's not fun, so really try to get clarity on roughly how long things take you before moving into project-based. If the answer to question 2 is no, then you will have a really hard time packaging up your services, because it's really hard to package up random miscellaneous ad hoc tasks in any other way than hourly. So if this is your case with a client, I would try to instead create a more recurring setup for the both of you. And if it truly doesn't work for their business model or something, then I would stick with hourly for them. So as an example, if you're a graphic designer and a lot of your projects are ad hoc or one-off, where let's say you set up branding or you create a logo with a client and it's kind of like a one-time thing, I would think about, how can I make this a recurring service for them? How can I make this a package that they need on a regular basis? Maybe it's designing social media templates that they need every single month. Maybe it's about about creating content graphics for their ads every single month. So if you have that recurring basis, it's much easier to create a package versus if you do a one-off thing, because that might not make sense to package into a recurring package. All right, now this is my little 4-step process to calculate out package rates. All right, step 1 is to make a list of all the recurring tasks that you do for a client. So pull up a Google Sheet or Airtable table or Notion table. Start by brain dumping, making a list of all the recurring tasks that you do for a client every month. Think about what you are doing for them on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis, and categorize every single task into daily, weekly, or monthly. Here's an example of a digital business manager's recurring list, just off the top of my head. So daily, you could be checking in to Asana, answering all questions that pop up from the team, and just making sure the project is on track. You might be checking in on Slack and answering all questions that pop up from the team, and just making sure they have everything they need. On a weekly basis, you could be hosting team calls. You could have a one-on-one call with a business owner. On a monthly basis, you might be the person in charge of setting up and running monthly promotions for the client's membership program. So if there are some things that you do for a client that are ad hoc, so not repetitive, not recurring, we will account for those in step 3, so don't worry about them. So make a big list of everything you do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis for this client, and you might not remember everything, so you can make this list over the course of the coming 1 to 2 weeks. You might be forgetting some things, so add them to your list as you remember them, as you do them for our clients. You'll be like, oh yeah, that's true, I forgot to add that to my list. Add it to your list and start that recurring list for the client that you want to translate to package rates. Step 2, now we're going to estimate how much time you spend doing those tasks roughly and develop a base foundational quote. This will be a quote that at a minimum will cover the amount of time it actually currently takes you to do these tasks. We will adjust this quote with extra things in step 4, but for now just consider the time it takes you, because we don't want to just pull a random number out, do the project, and then realize it's actually taking us 50 times what we quoted, right? So we want to make sure at a foundation, it's covering the amount of time it actually does take you. You don't have to share how long it takes you to the client. That's the whole point of a package rate, but it's just for you internally as a business owner to know how long it takes you. So open up that list of tasks that you wrote down and write down next to each item how long it takes you per month, roughly, to do each task. It does not have to be perfect. It does not need to be exact. It can just be an estimate. And always add a little bit of buffer. If it takes you, let's say 45 minutes, just round it up to an hour. If it takes you an hour and 50 minutes, round it up to 2 hours, right? Always good to add a little bit of buffer in case it takes you a little bit longer. So add that time estimate for each of the things you wrote down under that daily, weekly, and monthly list. And now sum up all of the time on a monthly basis. Now we're going to multiply that sum of how long it takes you to do all the recurring things for this client in a month by your current hourly to get that base quote. Again, if you don't know your hourly rate, go watch my hourly rate video first. You need your hourly rate at a minimum, otherwise you're just going to be pulling numbers out of thin air. So let's say your hourly is $40 an hour and you total the recurring items take you around 40 hours a month. Then your base package quote will be 40 times 40, so 1,600 a month. That is the base package quote you have to quote for this list of services to cover your time as a freelancer. Now, step 3 is if your client does have some ad hoc, one-off, non-recurring things that pop up occasionally. Don't know why I'm still doing this. Some of your clients may not have these one-off tasks. It's possible everything in their business is recurring. If that's the case, you can skip this step and go to step 4. But if your client by chance does have a few ad hoc random tasks that they ask you occasionally to do. For example, setting up a new tool. That's not really something you have to do on a weekly or monthly basis. It might just be a one-off thing. Or they want you one-off to do a bit of market research, or on a one-off basis, you have to do audits for your clients or something like that. Anything that's not on a weekly, daily, monthly basis, I consider ad hoc. We will need to build those hours separately into the package because we want to be flexible to that ad hoc need and have that included so a client doesn't feel like the new package you're proposing is too rigid and doesn't suit their needs as they come up, right? So look back at the past few months, how many random things popped up for each client and how many hours they need on average for ad hoc things. You can just round up a little bit for it. So for example, if for the past 3 months, your client has on average needed 3 to 4 hours of extra time a month for random things, then just round it up to 5, right? So 5 hours a month for ad hoc things. So add those into your base quote. So if it's 5 hours a month at $40 an hour, then your new base rate is now 1,600 plus $200, so $1,800 a month. And when you communicate to the client about this new package quote, you can tell them that 5 hours of random ad hoc things are included in the monthly package, so they feel reassured that there is that flexibility built in there to have tasks pop up, and it's not just like you're only going to work on your recurring set of services, right? That you can have that flexibility, you have a bit of buffer built in for them in case something does pop up. They don't have to be afraid to ask you to add that onto your package. Final step, we want to adjust now our rates a little bit by a few factors, because the value of our work is not just about the time that we sat at a laptop and did the work, right? The value is related to many other factors at play, our skill set, our experience, the niche that we're in, the pain points that we're helping clients solve, how much return on investment we help a client generate, the demand supply of market economics. Tons of things go into the factor of the value of your service. So we want to take those things into consideration, do a bit of research, and just make sure that everything is clicking into place. So here are 3 things that I normally do when I adjust my package rates. So the first thing I do is market research. So this is just something that also will come with time. Like, you'll get a good feeling of what's going in your market as you're working in your market, but you can ask yourself questions like, what's going on? What's the demand supply like? Does it feel like there's a large demand from business owners that's driving prices up? Is there a large supply that's driving prices down? What's going on? Having that basic understanding of this, you might not know exactly monetarily how it all works out, but just having a basic understanding of this is super useful just to know where your position is in your market to have that discussion with your client. Second thing is competitor research. So what are others offering this service or package charging? How in line with their pricing are you? I would look up a few competitors on Instagram using keywords, like look up, for example, if you're a social media manager, you can type into Instagram like social media manager, pull open like 10 to 20 people who are social media managers, hop on over to their website, which is probably linked in their bio, look through their packages just to do a bit of due diligence and see what's going on. You might even find things that they're including in their packages that would be super beneficial for your clients to have, and you might want to pitch that to your client as an additional service as well. So make sure to consider how you compare to these people in terms of experience, testimonials, training. Obviously don't just blindly take a competitor's rates. There's also this table that Freelancing Females put together that I'll link below, where women from all around the world self-reported how much they are charging for different types of services. So that might also be a good place to check out what other people who are doing similar things to you are charging, because you really want to make sure you are pricing competitively for the phase of freelancing that you're in. And another good thing is, instead of thinking of these people as competitors, you can also think of others in your market as your colleagues. And it's really great to be friends with people who are doing similar things to you, because you can really share a lot of value and check in with them, see who's offering similar services, see how they're pricing their similar services, what's working well for them, and really learn from each other, because the market is big enough. Like, there are enough clients out there. And so the 2 of you helping each other, 3 of you, or a small group of you helping each other can really make sure that you're all benefiting from this knowledge exchange. So maybe after some research, you find that a lot of people offering the services of, for example, in our example, team management, monthly promotion management, they're actually charging between $2,200 and $2,500 a month. Then I would go into my pricing with the awareness that I may be on the lower end, and depending on the phase of freelancing that I'm in, might be a good thing if I'm trying to land more clients, and that I can move upwards with my price if I would like to. Now, the third thing, this is the most important tip of all of these things in this step. The best place to get pricing feedback is from your clients. I always beta test new price points on clients, gauge their feedback on how the price feels in relation to the services and value delivered of my packages. So I would normally prep the lower end of the pricing of my package, beta test it with clients, and then slowly increase my price from there. So don't rush your pricing process. Go slow, go steady, build that robust foundation for yourself that is fully tested and validated every step of the way, so you feel confident in your pricing, and it translates into how you talk about it too. So building confidence in yourself, in your pricing, is so fundamental to talking pricing in a positive way with future clients, and to convey like, this is my pricing and I'm proud of it, and this is the reason that I'm priced in this way. And remember that pricing changes, right? Just because you start at X doesn't mean you have to be at X forever. So when in doubt, start lower, test the pricing, and then slowly increase from there. All right, let's wrap up with a few quick tips on talking to your clients about package rates and how to talk to them about that transition. But before I dive in, I just want to make it clear that when you are a freelancer, you are the owner of your business, which means technically you don't have to ask anyone for permission. You can tell your clients that this is what is happening, that you are moving to package rates, this is how much they are, and that you would love for them to stay on. Of course, we want to maintain good client relationships, so I recommend talking to them about it, being patient when walking them through it. But this is just so you are aware, you are in the right to make these changes to your business and your offerings. You don't have to ask somebody for permission to change into package rates. It's just a good approach to, really work with your client and try to be flexible and not just be like, this is how it is, and if you don't like it, you can leave, right? We want to maintain those good client relationships. So here are some tips. The first one is give them clarity, right? Give them clarity. It's so simple. So many people do not do it. Tell them what is changing. Talk about very specifically what changes for them. Going from hourly, what you're doing right now, to package rates, what changes for them? What do they have to worry about? And ideally, it's nothing. Ideally, everything that they want to get done still gets done exactly the same. The communication is the same, the service, the quality, everything is the same, and they don't have to worry about anything. Because I know as a client, when my freelancers come to me and they talk to me about like, oh, I'm thinking about moving into this, or I would like to do this, my first question is, what's going to be different for me? Like, what changes for me? What do I have to worry about, right? So really communicate that nothing changes for them. Everything is going to be exactly the same, if not better, and they don't have to be worried about anything because nothing is going to fall through the cracks. The second thing is to highlight the value for them, right? So reiterate the value of your services and why it's so great to have you on the team. Good clients also want their team members to be happy, and they will do their best to accommodate you. Okay, so that's also something to keep in mind, is like, good clients want what's best for their freelancers, want what's best for the people that work with them that they really appreciate, right? So if you make this clear that this is what you want to do in your business moving forward, they should do their best, if you're flexible as well, to work with them on it to make that happen for you. The third thing you can highlight is the value and stability for the client. They know now that XYZ will always get done on a regular basis. It's no longer hourly, it's no longer fluctuating. They know for sure every single month when you show up to deliver this package, it will get done, right? That's also stable for them. It's not just stable for you. They don't have to worry about the time. They don't have to worry about your hours. Everything will be done as agreed upon. Not only that, they don't have to fight for your hourly availability with other clients now, right? They will be officially solidified on your calendar on a monthly basis. They get kind of like a VIP spot that's reserved for them. And this is a really good thing to highlight as you're starting to get booked up, because your time will start to get so full that you want these more recurring retainer package clients to get the first chance at your time, right? And making that clear where it's like, now there will be the first tier of clients who you're doing things monthly for, and little remaining hourly time you have left, everybody else kind of has to see if you have time to even do that for them. And if you want to give a cherry on top incentive for your new package rates, because your new package rates might be higher, I would throw in like some sort of small free bonus deliverable included, or give them a little bit of a discount as an existing client. So as an example, if you say, moving forward, my package rates will start at $2,200 a month for all new clients, but as an existing client, I'm more than happy to give you a discount for $1,800 a month, as I love working with you. Right? If your package rates are higher, you're essentially increasing your rates. If you want a little bit of help with increasing rates, go watch part 2 of my salary raise video, where I share tons of tips on what to prepare for a salary raise discussion and how to approach that pricing increase talk with clients in a way that will work out for you. So transitioning from an hourly rate to a fixed project package is the way to go if you want to scale as a freelancer. It doesn't tie you anymore to hours that you are physically working. Plus, you'll also have a clear understanding of exactly how many clients you need to book every month to make ends meet and make a profit, and your income month over month will fluctuate way less. If you're curious about other types of ways to get paid other than hourly or package rate, which is what we talked about in this video, I share 3 other ways to structure payments with clients as a freelancer. I will link that below. And if you still want to figure out your hourly rates because you're just getting started, I will link those detailed videos below too. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. All right, bye.